Okay, so this is the Y lift in a quadruped position. So Bethany's got her knees under her, she's got her knees under her hips, 90 degrees. The hands and elbows going to be pretty much straight under the shoulders. Lower back, lumbar spines are neutral, so she's going to drop down slightly in her lower back. Yeah, it's a nice flat back. And the neck is in neutral as well, so you don't want to be looking forwards. Give yourself a slight chin nod. Back of your neck's nice and long, so if you were to rest like a PVC from your head down to your tailbone, there'd be no angle, and it'd be completely parallel to the floor. Okay, so biggest thing for this as well is that core switched on. So belly button just gently drawn inwards toward your spine, gently contracting those abs and keeping the back in the same position. So the idea is here that this is partly an exercise that when you take one hand off. Let's just show you a couple of reps. So if you just go for one arm. So the thumb's facing the ceiling. The angle of the arm is very important with this. So the best way to kind of line up, usually the angle is about 120 degrees abduction. So it's slightly out to the side, like this. If you go a little bit further out to this side, yeah, that's better. The best way to do it though, rather than having kind of a generic sort of approach to what angle you should lift at, the best way to test it is, or the angle to go at, is looking at where that person's kind of muscle fibers of the lower fiber traps are set up and going in line with that. So the lower fiber traps are straight down here, and we're trying to go right nice and in line with those fibers. The idea of this as well is that we're getting the lower traps are a sort of posterior tilter of the scapula, the shoulder blade. So we're trying to get a posterior tilt of the shoulder blade and a little bit of upward rotation. So the idea is that you're going to gently glide the shoulder blade back and down, and then lift the arm up, pausing for 2 seconds, and then coming back down. So this is going to help clear that space under the acromion to lift the shoulder up and help stabilise the scapula, so the rest of the muscles around the shoulder have that optimal ability to function. So you notice as well that as she's doing that, she's obviously taking out one of her sort of bases of support. So there's going to be a tendency for the pelvis on this side to start to drop downwards. So she's having to use her obliques and the rest of her core muscles to stabilise against that and resist that kind of rotational component. So again, I would do this, the regression to this could be, you could do this on a bench. You could have a gym ball underneath here to take out as much support as needed for to maintain the core position, the spinal position. And as you get better at it, gradually progressing into this all fours position. That's pretty much it. Again, as well, this exercise is good because it's got a very low or a lower ratio of lower fiber traps to upper fiber traps. So the lower fiber traps are more active during this exercise than the upper. So we don't get any over dominance of upper traps to lower traps. And rep wise, I would probably go for, similar to the external rotation, a couple of sets of sort of two sets of 15 or so. Cool.